Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhist meditation. Today is Thursday, June the 20th, 2019. Thursday, June the 20th, 2019. And I've just been going through the Wisdom Library of Venerable Master Singyung. Venerable Master Singyung, for those of you who are not very familiar, is one of the greatest Buddhists of our time. He established the Fo Guangshang Buddhist organization, which is the largest Chinese Buddhist organization in the world. Fo Guangshang has been doing tremendous great works, great things all over the world, expounding Buddhism and teaching the good teachings, building schools, temples, all kinds of great things you can imagine. So what has Venerable Master Singyung for us at this moment? What have I discovered in his libraries? Folks, for those of you who are students of wisdom, who are trying to get wisdom to better your lives, to improve yourselves, have your pen and paper ready, I always say, and try to pick points of wisdom as I instruct. So Master Singyung teaches, Buddhism speaks of deliverance through reciting the Buddhist scriptures. Taoism speaks of the same through the rituals, while Christianity affirms deliverance through prayer. Every religion wants people to gain deliverance, yet we do not need to pray for the deliverance of our ancestors or dead spirits. Delivering ourselves and others in this life is much more important. The following are some guidelines for doing so. 1. I call these the golden keys. Master Singyung has this great potential of very concise delivery. He puts wisdom in, most of the time he puts it in four brilliant forms to make it easy for you to remember the main points of wisdom. Sometimes he uses half a dozen, 6. Most of the time he summarizes these teachings into 4 forms he wants you to remember. I call them the 4 golden keys or the 4 golden treasures. These are just valuable treasures of wisdom disseminated by the great Master Singyung to expound wisdom, bring it to your study and understanding. 1. Delivering our enemies creates broad and positive connections. A Ming scholar once said, "Matters rise endlessly without ceasing. People harm one another continuously without stopping. It is better to resolve grudges with old enemies than making new ones." Just turn around to see where we are heading. People all look for world peace, but there are still endless battles going on. Families all seek harmony, but domestic violence never seems to cease. These are the consequences of people treating each other as enemies. Therefore, in the pursuit of universal harmony and peace among human beings, we should treat everyone equally, with no distinction between friend or foe. By coexisting in peace, we can truly create broad connections with others. 2. Delivering ourselves from delusions gains enlightenment. When deluded thoughts cloud our mind, it is very difficult to see the reality of any matter. If delusions were to cease, then the clear enlightenment within us will naturally manifest. It is like stirring up muddy waters. The more we stir, the muddier the water gets. Once we stop stirring, The mud and dirt will sink to the bottom and clear water will appear. 3. Delivering ourselves from sorrow brings peace. If we are always worried and sad, our body and mind will be out of balance. As Confucius pointed out, something we don't have, we worry about not getting. Something we do have, we worry about losing. We are always living anxiously between gain and loss, creating endless worries for ourselves. In order to gain peace, we need to transform sorrow into joy. By letting go of sorrow, we will gain happiness. 4. Delivering ourselves allows us to gain liberation. There are many reasons why we do not receive deliverance. Mainly it is due to our never-ending greed, anger, and delusion. We have too many worries and troubles concerning friends and enemies, which consistently give rise to confused and rambling thoughts in our minds. If we are able to transcend all the worries and ignorance in our mind, we can gain generosity, joy, compassion, brightness, equality, peace, enlightenment, and liberation. How wonderful life will be. And then, like the great Buddha always does, Master Singyung now summarizes all these treasures of wisdom into a nutshell. Hence, if we want to deliver ourselves, we first need to achieve the above. So you need to just highlight the basic things, the basic elements Master Singyung is talking about here. First sentence of the first one, first sentence of the second, first sentence of the third, first sentence of the fourth. This is what he's saying. It's very important to highlight, summarize, and understand to increase your understanding of the main points I've been given. This is the work of meditation. So when you leave this institute online, you go back to your reflections, your meditations, and you begin to really digest and use these Buddhist ideas to begin to understand life, what is going on in life, try to get a better understanding each time. It's fantastic, it's wonderful what you discover. Life is so peaceful, life is so sweet. There is no difficulties in this world if you really understand Buddhism and what the Buddha is talking about here. Difficulties are self-created. Wisdom is rejected. People are so lazy, they don't want to study. The answers are in the books. They don't want to even open the books. So they dwell ignorant for the rest of their lives. But if we're really students, serious students, seriousness of purpose, and you go into the books, figure out. It's like reading the maps. You're trying to get a treasure of gold. Then you want to follow the maps, follow the directions to try to get to the destination. In this world, we need to be opening books. And yet, people are so lazy and so stupid. They don't want to open books. But you need to open books. I mean, this is why people are so daft. Where are the answers? The answers are in the books. Open the books and read them. So, this is the reason why you see I've gone into Master Singyung's libraries, combing through his treasures of wisdom and trying to unveil them to you. You as the student who is serious, you should always have your pen, your paper ready for wisdom. Wisdom doesn't come from the heavens. It comes from humans, our predecessors, who have sacrificed all their lives to write down wisdom, record wisdom for us. Wisdom you will find in books and libraries and nowhere else. Books, libraries. So delve into the books. Go into the books and you will find wisdom when you come back to sit in reflection and meditation. Namo Amitofo.